Howdy do, everyone. How's everyone doing? It's just finished. West Ham United 1, Manchester City 3. Lots to talk about, so let's let the chat build up and see what you guys are thinking. Richie Rich is already in the house and nice and early. Richie saying, don't know how to feel about that. Once Alvarez went off, we were. Yeah, I know, mate. I know. What's making it even more sick as the afternoon goes on, mate, is that Spurs have scored 2 goals in 6-7 added injury time to beat Sheffield United 2-1. I knew that was going to happen when they're 1-0 down. 12 minutes added on, I knew Spurs are going to win, and Villa won as well, I think. So, yeah, the results not quite going our way, but anyway, yep. West Ham United 1, Manchester City 3. What am I thinking? I'm thinking overall City were obviously too good for the Hammers. What am I thinking? What a debut by Doku. What a clash between Doku and Kufal. Kufal gave everything he had, but obviously he's not going to match up to the speed, the strength, the age of Doku, who can play both sides. And when we scored, he could have done a bit better defending. But mate, that player Doku, who I think we came in for him before Kudus, we were looking to bid 35 million, but obviously he's worth a lot more than that, and City got him for around 53 million pounds. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Defensive marking errors. Agard for me again was a pile of shit. Doku was good. Ward-Prowse was amazing once again. But yeah, we're going to go through it. The lineup. Souček played. Alvarez looked like he was the third CDM or the only CDM, or sometimes the centre-half. Sometimes he was the main guy defending with Zuma and Agard ahead of him. So I don't know what's going on there. But it looks like Alvarez is kind of a sweeper, or really, proper CDM in front of the back four. And then further ahead, you've got Paqueta and Souček. But yeah, we'll go for it. I got a lot of comments I've written down as the match went on. And yeah, feeling deflated, disappointed. Was it a 3-1 game? Was 2-1 more of a true reflection? I will be doing a rating show later on this evening, I think, which will be a new thing I haven't done before, which will be a quick snap video from me for you guys to look at. And then maybe I'll do another proper player analysis and in-depth look once one of the channel guys joins me tomorrow. I think Frankie's at the match. So we'll see how that timing goes. But for now, this is instant match reaction, as you know. And it's more about interaction with you guys. So I'm going to go through the chat, see what you guys are thinking. And then I'll go into my match sort of notes I've been putting down as I was watching the game. And then we'll go into each player's and defensive mistakes and goals and things like that as we go on, really. So like I said, Richie's in there. Richie, mate, here's a famous grass scotch, mate. Cheers, mate. Yeah, I think once all the games Alexandra are finished, then we'll see where we are in the table. We've got Liverpool to play, who once again, got a few issues, but they keep getting the results. So we're slipping down, bit by bit. And after the Liverpool game, we could be 8th, 9th, 10th, I don't know. So let me know what you think about that. Moyes out. Let's see game by game, mate. Obviously, no one's going to think about Moyes out at the moment. Certainly, because we've had a good start, good window, kind of. We could have done with a striker in, mate. Which again, see the thing is, it's a good start coming to this game, but when you look back on it, again, that could be out of order. I'm just going to say, if we had a better striker than Antonio out there, that is really a striker. For long, he had a chance, didn't he? 1-1, he fluffed it up as usual. He was on the wing a lot. Doesn't really press because he can't do it. It's not in him. So if we had a slightly better striker than him, it could have been a much closer game than it was. And mate, Agard for me was dog shit, mate. Again, we were really struggling at the back in terms of marking. before the ball goes into the box, then he's acting all cool and he's got his hands on Haaland and doing things like I've got this bloke. As soon as the cross comes in, he ain't nowhere near anything. So every time they scored, there's no one marking anyone. And then you got things like Zuma's gone skipping up the halfway line, even though he's been great since he's been at the club. But Agard is really pissing me off. And Emerson was doing as much as he could, nearly scored a couple of times. Kufal, he gave it 100%, but when he's going to be facing people like Doku, it's going to be hard for him. He hasn't got the pace, but he was really trying not to let him turn him inside out because he can, and for the goal he did, which we'll go into a bit later on. So it's frustrating thinking one or two extra players on the pitch, a better centre-half than Agard, who's a really proper defender, better striker than Antonio, and then you're looking at slightly different ball game there, really. So those are the kind of areas we're gonna get caught on, and we haven't so far. Luckily, we have been exposed defensively, as you know, but for one reason or another, the opposition hasn't put the ball away, and we've come away with a win or a draw. But as the season progresses, you will see that Agard has got a fucking issue, mate. The guy can't mark. He's a liability, I'm telling you. And Kufal, Emerson, it's going to be hard for them to play every single game against his speedy younger wingers and try to keep them out the game. It's going to be tough, right? Souček, I didn't see him all game. I'm sorry, I just didn't see what he offered. Again, that's an issue. We've got to put, obviously, Kudus is new. But listen, Doku was signed the same time as Kudus, started, played nearly the whole game, scored, looked all right. So we got to be a little bit more positive. I think Benrahma for me was shit as well. Didn't do anything for me. That's just what I'm thinking top of my head. But again, let's go into the comments. Irons, how you doing, mate? I just said that, didn't I, mate? No, mate. Benny, especially top six, mate. You might as well play with 10 men, mate. And Agard is a big, big concern for me, mate. Huge concern. He's just not picking up the person he's meant to mark, mate. And every time that person scores, more often than not, I mean, Zuma's done really, really good, but sometimes you got Kufal and Souček trying to fill in and fill that gap and stop the errors, defenders. So I don't know what's going on, mate. But as soon as we let in a goal and you look back on the replays, then our centre backs, or certainly the ones meant to be marking the main striker, are just nowhere near, mate. Yeah, and more often than not, mate, it's just not going to happen, is it, mate? Just not going to happen with that. It's going to be difficult where you keep relying on the opposition to keep missing chances. They're going to put it away, and today they were going to put it away. I had a feeling we were 1-0 up, which I'll go to in a minute. But yeah, let's go through the comments first, and then I'll go through what I thought as the match developed, what happened, and that kind of thing, mate. So let's go through. Derek, how you doing, mate? Derek slapped me with it. It was a 6, mate. Freddie, how you doing, mate? He's not surprised. I mean, Freddie, you say that, but when you're 1-0 up and it's half time, because I had a feeling City are going to score after 44 minutes, which happens a lot with us, but then they score after 50 minutes. Not good, is it, mate? Not good. You never know. I think we could have got something out of the game again if we had a striker that was offering what their forward line was offering, which was in the box, getting in the end of things. And that's the thing, is it's easy to defend people, put people behind the ball. But even with that, they just kept getting shots, corner after corner, free kick after free kick, shot after shot. It's not really smart defending then, is it, when you think about it? If you're going to put numbers behind the ball at home, which I understand it's a fair tactic against City, I suppose, I don't know, then you think we've done well. But it's only because they keep missing chance after chance and we were losing our markers one chance after the other. It's not smart. It's not smart, mate. Yeah, but then as a club who's on the up, who's looking to do good things going forward, Kufal should be a second choice, really. You shouldn't rely on someone in where he is in his career, and Emerson to play week in, week out, expecting them to have the pace of Kyle Walker or someone like that. It's hard, mate. Yeah, it was all right, mate, but you could see where the deficiencies were, Cosmos, wasn't it? Agard, it was Antonio. Not blaming Antonio, but it's just that we need a striker. We need a proper striker up there that can hold the ball up, can kind of press teams, got that knack of getting in the end of things, that sixth sense. You know, before the cross is given, the striker is there at the end of it. Where Antonio, more often than not, when he scores, you got to find him straight away, and then he kind of chests it down and scores. He's not going to latch on to chances. He 1-1, he's not going to finish like that. He wasn't going to finish when he was just had the goalkeeper to beat, and he messed up with his touch, mate. You're absolutely right. I mean, we're going to think that Agard's younger and faster, but I just don't see Agard using that pace to good effect. I don't see him using strength. Has he got strength? I haven't seen it. Is he good in the air? I haven't seen it, mate. So I'm really going to give Agard a proper crunch at the moment, mate. Yep. To be fair, mate, you can't knock Zuma 9 out of 10 times since he's been at the club. And I suppose for that third goal, he had to go further up the field looking for the equaliser. Because I think he's helped Agard a lot. When Agard's gone tits up, Zuma's come in and cleared up for him the mess. It didn't happen vice versa. I don't know what Agard's doing. I ain't got a clue. He's standing there thinking he's a defender. He's not marking anyone. And when the opposition scores, he's always out of position. Someone's got to pick that up, mate. I mean, if that's going to carry on, then January, 70, 80 million, you can take him, mate. You can take him. He's getting there slowly, isn't he, Derek? He's getting there slowly, mate. One or two things where, yeah, he kind of saved it and it went straight to them. And that's another thing. I think our clearances are a bit up and down today. There's one or two situations where the clearances weren't strong enough and they kept going back to them. We kept losing possession straight. It's going to happen to a lot of teams playing City. I get that. But it's just something I'm seeing, mate. Yeah, I know, Gary. I know, mate. Thank God that we've had a good cushion, isn't it, in terms of the points that we can not afford to lose to City and Liverpool, but then we can think back with a bit of comfort that, yeah, we're kind of in there in the top 10 and not in the bottom 3, bottom 5 and not thinking about anything worse than that. But it is a shame where I can see that we're matching them, but it's clearly for me to see where the issues are, mate. Where the issues are, it's one or two positions, and hopefully Kudus can start going forward. Souček's on the bench, because when I looked at that team lineup, it was very defensive. I mean, I didn't see creativity a lot there. Having said that, we're so lucky we got Ward-Prowse for set pieces, corners. That's kind of worth a goal in itself. Even I knew Ward-Prowse is good. I've been banging on him for a couple of years, but I didn't even know that every bloody game the guy's going to get an assist or a goal. It's been phenomenal, really. But yeah, we do need a bit more than that. Hopefully Kudus will be our Doku. He'll be the expensive player, attacking, skillful, and hopefully Antonio doesn't have to piss about on the wing. He can be the centre point and Kudus can find him there as and when needed, really. We'll see what... Derek, we do need a better manager going forward, but for now we can't really say anything. He's won a trophy. We've had a good start. We're in Europa. So let's just take it game by game, week by week, mate. So what I'm going to do on my channel is I have been banging on about Moyes a lot, but what I want to do at the moment is just focus on each game and go on that, really. And for me, yeah, Agard's an issue. Souček doesn't offer enough for me, mate. So yeah, the manager just have to think about that. And obviously we got Mavrona Panessa, haven't we, on the bench? So maybe he's going to come in next game. We'll see, mate. Yeah, we do, mate. We do, mate. Yeah. You say that, Derek, but these clubs, like, they just got enough how to do it, you know. Like Tottenham were losing 1-0, there's 12 added minutes with 6-7 to go. I told my son before going to do the show they're going to win 2-1. I wasn't even thinking about Tottenham drawing. I knew they're going to win. They won. Liverpool 1-0 down. I knew they're going to win. They won. Even Newcastle, Tottenham, Liverpool, Newcastle, 10 men. It's just over the years you just know these teams are going to do it, right? With us, it is more or less of we take the lead. We know it's going to be difficult to hold on, whether that's something in our minds, whether it's in the management's minds, whether it's what we got on the bench or whatever. I don't know, mate. But yeah, we could beat Liverpool. Of course, I mean, we've seen it, mate. We've seen it. I've seen it, you know. But at the back, Derek, we're not looking that good, mate. In the centre back positions, mate, we're not looking that good. Yeah, Cosmos. I mean, why? does every game different? Like in this game, again, Antonio's game to game. I don't know which Antonio we get game to game. There's no consistency. What drives me mad again is he's on the wing a lot. A lot of the times, Bowen, I think I got in my notes. He ran down the other side of the pitch. Antonio's nowhere to be seen. He's on the wing, and we lost the ball. We had no one to give it to, right? But then sometimes he is there. So game to game, it's a different Antonio, right? For me, I want my striker to be there. I want him to have that sixth sense of I know when to gamble, when not to. I know when to find a space, when not to. I know when to go near post looking for that cross before he's got there. With him, he kind of just chugs around, waits for the ball, and then he relies on the strength to body shield it, turn it around, and go that way. So there are kind of, but then one thing you can't argue about is the years of service, the goals, but when you're really, really turning the screw and trying to really expose or have a look at someone's game, then you do look at a few things with Antonio, mate, isn't it? I think what it is, Alexander. I think Agard wasn't offering anything. You work in pairs. I know you don't get the pairs up front anymore. Strikers used to work as pairs. Centre midfield work as pairs. Centre halves more than anything, they work as pairs, and we're not getting it. I think Zuma's probably not had the ideal partner up to now. And it's something about, we've always run out of money. When it comes to investing in the defence, we always run out of money. Even though Agar was a good 33, 34, 35 million, I haven't seen it, mate, right? Centre, fullbacks, we've not spent enough. Areola, I think he came on the 3. I could be wrong. I can't remember. So we haven't spent in those areas, Zuma was, again, 20, 30 million, a lot of money. I think Zuma's fine, but he just needs someone better with him, right? They're not on the same wavelength. I think Areola, Zuma and Agard are not on the same wavelength. And more often than not, I think Emerson was mopping up and Kufal was mopping up a lot of the Agard issues, right? I'll only want my fullback to come in now and again when I'm out of position. I do not, if I'm a quality centre-half like Terry and Zuma, people like that can read the game, I would say that I own the defence. It's up to me first. And now and again, I expect the fullback sometimes to help me out. Not all the time. It's happening more and more, and I think Kufal and Emerson had more than enough on their plate than covering up for the centre halves. You know what I mean? No way, no chance, mate, Derek. No way. I've not seen nothing from him, mate. Every single game, there's a mistake in him. He don't know how to mark. I ain't seen any clearances from him. I don't see nothing from him. He can't read the game. I haven't even seen that passing from him at the back. I want a proper defender first that looks like he knows how to mark. He doesn't look out of position. He reads the game. Then after that, he can bring the ball out and hit it 25, 30 yards left and right and all that. And silky skills, good on the eye. No, not for me, mate. No chance. Not for me. Mate, it's what David Moyes is doing, his legacy, isn't he? If he only stays a year, then he's going to leave all these players behind who are slightly older and things like that. Thing is, you got to be ruthless like Fergie was, right? You win 2-3 titles, 2-3 cups. What does he do? He used to get rid of the number 2, and people are thinking, why are you doing that? It freshens everything up. You bring 2-3 players in. It puts pressure on everyone. I know it takes time for a club like West Ham, because sometimes... Largely, our signings have been okay, to be fair, recently. A few doesn't work out, and takes us time to obviously get them out of the club, lose the money, try to get more money in. So it takes time to change things around. We got to improve the scouting in terms of buying players no one's heard of. We got to improve on that. The Brighton, the Brentford players that they signed for 10, 15 million, we got to do a bit more of that. Obviously, Souček was a bit like that. Kufal was a bit like that. Didn't cost that much. Lanzini, when he first came in, things like that. We've got to do a bit more of that. And then we'll be better. And youth needs to be given a bit more of a chance, isn't it? I think that's the way to go. But for me, Souček, 3-year contract, it's piss poor, mate. Listen... From what I've seen of Agard so far, he's been all right last year, but he's got a mistake in him, Derek. He's got a big mistake in him. And if you have a look at all the goals this season, even the Luton game, where he's shielding the ball at the Luton game, And he's not communicating to Areola to come out. And Areola's like, do you want me to come out? Are you going? And that Luton guy nearly got in there. It's things like that every single game from Areola. Have a look at his marking with Haaland. He's put when the ball's not in the area, he thinks he's a defender. He's next to Haaland. He's putting his hand on him. When the cross comes in, he's nowhere to be seen. Haaland's on his own. So you tell me what's going on with that, mate. I can't say that, Gary, because we're banging in the goals, mate. We're banging in the goals. We're getting good chances, mate. And Ward-Prowse has helped that a lot. Bowen has been good start to the season as well. And Antonio today could have been better, but more often than not this season, he's been all right. I think as the season progresses, then you look back and then you realise that, yeah, we should have needed a proper striker in the window to kind of give Antonio competition. We needed a younger, a better fullback in terms of sort of skill level, ability. Those are the things that are going to be exposed, I think, so far. Let's see what the new Greek boys like. But for me, Agard's struggling. Fullbacks are going to be challenged every game. They're not quite young. They're not speedy enough. That's going to be difficult for me. Other thing with Moyes is going to be loyalty with Souček to keep playing him. That's going to hurt. Benrahma is an issue. I think we could be looking at getting rid of him. I don't think Moyes likes him anyway. I think Benrahma starting, it wasn't quite happening. Now he's a sub. Even as a sub, it's not quite happening for him. I think the attack is there, but those are the 2-3 positions that we need to look at. At the moment, the way we're chugging along, we do look like a team that hopefully will be in and around the top 10. Hopefully, anything a bit more than that in terms of top 6 is going to be hard, but you never know. But for that, I think we need to bring in more players from the youth. Mbeumo needs to be given a chance, mate. You know, why Mbeumo's not being given 10, 15 minutes sometimes? Because he looks like he can play like Antonio. You know, he can hold it up. He looks creative. He looks busybody in the area. So I think those are the things. I mean, every club's always got a percentage they can go up a notch. And these are the things that are being exposed and will be exposed as the season goes on and you're playing teams that are better and better. That's it, mate. Hope you're doing good, mate. Yeah, but you just got to look back at it. You're 1-0 up. It's half time. Can you hold on to a draw at least? Can you not concede after 50 seconds? Can you not keep giving away corner after corner, free kick after free kick? It's a few things always to be worked upon, isn't it, mate? Let's see what happens, Epic, isn't it? Let's see what happens. Let's go game by game, and if it ends up, then we can go into that bit more. I can't go as harshly as I normally am, mate, because yeah, we won a trophy. I think we had a good window. Could have been better if we got a striker in, if we got a fullback in, if that wing back had come in. Kovacic, wasn't it? I think the Juve guy. It would have been amazing. A striker would have been great. The ones we were looking at for me, and those are the things that are going to be exposed for me. I think. I mean, God forbid something does happen to Antonio. What we're going to do? Put Bowen up front? Then I don't know. So if you're going for that top 6, you're up against some top clubs there, aren't you? And you really need to be on your game tactically. On the bench, you need good players that can come in and do a job. And those are the things that will be exposed, especially because we're in Europe, right? So let's just see how it goes. But up to now, the way I would summarise the season is that we've been a bit fortunate in the way I've seen the opposition get loads of chances, but they haven't finished it, and we've got away with it. And we've kind of, through Ward-Prowse and people like that, we got the ability to score as well at the other end. But then we can't keep clean sheets. It's a bit hard for us, I think. And top 10 definitely looks doable for us. Anything a bit more than that, we'll see how it goes. But I just want the best for my club. That's why I nitpick sometimes, as you can see. That's my job, to analyse the game, research it, and then find areas of where we could have been better. Take it the way you want, you know. Obviously, I'm a bit harsh, but I'm ambitious for our club. So what we're going to say today, are we going to say, oh, we were going to lose anyway, doesn't matter, let's move on? Of course, let's move on. But my job on the channel is to interact with you guys and look at areas where I think we fucked up. And Agard is one of them. Kufal, again, it's because it's hard for him every game. It's hard. I mean, we didn't have anyone on the bench that could have helped him out or come on. Or are we going to look at some of the The midfielders on that wing, could they have gone back and helped him a bit more? Could we have doubled up on Doku? No one's seen him. I mean, I haven't seen a debut like that in ages. The guy's like he's been playing in the Premier League every year. He hit the ground running, mate. And now we know why he's 50, 55 million, right? And with Antonio, I think you can't rely on him every game either. It's unfair. We need a proper striker, and when you can fix those things, then we'll do even better than what we're doing. You know, that's kind of what I'm looking at. Definitely, mate. We're scoring in every game, Derek, and we look really good in corners. If you look at that Zuma chance, world class save. I think I'm more worried about Agard at the back than up front. I think up front, if Antonio has an off day, I think we've got a goal in Bowen, we've got a goal in Ward-Prowse, we're going to have a goal in Kudus, isn't it, Derek? You know, that's what I'm looking at. But at the back, I'm unsure on the Greek guy. I told you that he can score goals. I think banged into in the international, mate. I'm worried about the centre backs because that's your bread and butter defending, and I think our fullback's going to have enough on their plate looking after those Doku types than to help out when Agard's out of position and things like that. That's what I'm thinking, mate. I think more worried at the back than at the front, I think. But we'll see how it goes, mate. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I know, mate. I know. But I hope you're doing good. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have a look at quickly the notes that I made. Right. In terms of the lineup, yeah, Souček wasn't sure if he was going to play. I thought Kudus might play. So it looked like Alvarez was like a sweeper or sometimes really close to two centre-backs as a third centre-back. So for me, I think Alvarez, that's kind of where he was. But as the game gone in terms of Antonio, he was on the wing a lot, more often than not really up front. That doesn't really help situations. But 15-minute, my note says Agard marking Haaland. It's all over the place. 16th minute, glaring miss by Agard. It's a corner. It's a Bowen corner. Very, very odd. Short corner, but it worked out. It looked like it worked on the training pitch. Agard, when you're that close, mate, you got to put it in. My early comments after 16-20 minutes are Doku looks good against Kafal. Alvarez looks like a sweeper. Antonio not really pressing. So again, it's something I say quite a lot. 20th minute, Foden shot. Agard, again from the corner, not defending very well. 29th minute, my comment is that Bowen is pressing. We've counter-attacked with Bowen, but there's no one in the box. 35 minutes, Ward-Prowse shot, but Bowen was in a better position. So Ward-Prowse, if he looked up, he could have given it to Bowen. It didn't quite happen, and Bowen wasn't too happy about that. 35 minute, Kufal assist, Kufal pass, Ward-Prowse header. What a great finish. I'm going to say it the way it is. If that was Souček, it wouldn't have gone in. But Ward-Prowse knelt down and guided it nicely into the box, and that carries on. What a great start. Could be future captain, I don't know. But Ward-Prowse has really started his West Ham career like he's been there forever. Long may that continue. 38th minute, my comment, everyone, is a really harsh booking by the referee, booking Alvarez for something verbally said. You know that, especially Foden, he did one or two professional fouls on us when we were trying to start attacking and no one said nothing, right? So Alvarez, I think when you get booked for something verbal, it's poor because it's going to get you marked. And luckily, it didn't mean the sending off for him, but that's what the referee kind of did, really. 42nd minute, Haaland cleared off the line by Agard, so well done Agard. 42 minutes, Haaland sort of header or shot cleared off the line, and then 45th minute, 50 seconds after the second half, he scores, and yeah, it's hard. I think Kufal was trying to stop Doku. It didn't quite happen. Alvarez hits the post, 51 minute, bad luck with there. Haaland again, it's just one after the other. Second half, it's a Haaland, more often than not, chance after chance, so we're just blocking it, trying to clear it. And then 60th minute, Ward-Prowse, great corner, Zuma header, world class save from the City kind of goalkeeper there, and then it's just Haaland really. So for me, it's just a case of hopefully in the future games I don't know, is Kuda's going to be up front, but we're going to have to change it around a little bit. We need that bit of luck up front. But I think we could have easily got a point. I think like if that Zuma head had gone in, you're looking at 2-2. And so sometimes there is a fine line. But if we want to talk about why we didn't get any points out of it, these are the couple of things that I'm kind of thinking about. And maybe we've held back and we've still got some money in the pot. Because if Benrahma goes, then we could really have enough money to bring a striker in January. Then we look even better. I don't know. Let me know. Alexander, I think we've got to see you, Abumu, haven't we? We've got to see you, mate. Take care, mate. Okay, that'll be interesting, mate. I know that he's going to be good at set pieces. So I think, Peter, we're going to score in every game, which is a good thing to look at. But then at the other end, we don't look like we're marking our defenders, mate. Yeah, the other thing, Robert, I hope you're doing good, mate. The other thing, Robert, is that I don't think there's going to be many clean sheets in the whole Premier League. So I'm not just nitpicking at our club. I think that's an issue across all the leagues. But it is worrying that the opposition is getting too many shots on target. So Areola's going to be busybody. But maybe that's the modern game, mate. Is that you just outscore the opposition. Is this where we're going with the football? I don't know, mate. At the end of the day, it's an entertainment. More goals, the better. That's fine. But I'm just not used to every cross that goes into our box. Our centre-halves are not picking the defenders up more often than not, which is a kind of a worry, mate. We'll see how that goes, mate. But listen, I'm going to call it. We've been going live half an hour for me. Yeah, it's not a surprising result, but for me, we were 1-0 up. We matched them for large periods, but we kind of ran out of steam at the end for the reasons I mentioned. You know, if we had a younger fullbacks to come on, it would have helped. If we had a more of a striker than Tony is, that would have helped. Very fine line, but listen, it's a good start to the season, and even when all the results are in, we hopefully could be hanging in there top 8, top 7 maybe. We'll see how that goes. It doesn't get any easier. Got Liverpool coming up, got the Carabao Cup coming up, got the Europa games coming up. I think we've got Newcastle coming up in the league after that, and then we'll see. We'll comment on it week by week, and then your squad will be exposed, and either we'll be really, really happy, or when it comes to those big games against Arsenal, against Tottenham, against City, against Liverpool, against United, if we keep getting edged out, then we're going to find out what the reasons are for that, really. But yeah, that's it for me. One more comment in for Peter. Peter's like, that's it, mate. That's what it's going to be about. And listen, I got nothing personal against Agard, but I'm hoping that his defensive side of the game improves, because CDM is a very important position, and we'll see it from there, really. But like I said, I'm going to come back with a rating show later on this evening, or I might link up with Frankie today, tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. But thanks for tuning in, everyone. Hope you have a really good evening. It's finished West Ham United 1, Manchester City 3. Started off quite well, quite interesting, but then ran out of legs, and then the quality kind of shone through at the end, didn't it? But that's kind of what it is. So you have a great evening, and we'll catch up hopefully a little bit later on today or tomorrow, really. So take care. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Take care. Bye.